myself. Save me. This is my cry for help. Save me. I can't save myself. Save me.
Yeah,
This is my cry for help.
I hear you loud and clear. I'm a patriot and I'm a patriarch, but I'm a father first and I'ma play that part. Gonna stand for mine and never bow or buckle there for anybody that ever get in trouble. Yeah, storm is brewing, I can see them clouds, hear the children crying, baby clearing loud. Shine a light on shadows, I'ma clear them out. Don't wanna hear the truth, you better hear them now, before it hits home and it's too close to the night of facts that you've been running from. I made it through hell just to show and tell all the lost ones where I've been coming from. My number one is my household and my family, always been my saving grace. There's a war right now and it's taking place, and you bite your tongue so you saving face. I'ma yell it loud, this my battle cry on this battlefield. I'll take my consequence, yeah, it's common sense. When it's good and evil, you can't ride the fence, that's some coward shit. I'll take them hits and I'll throw them blows, I'll lose it all to save their innocence. I'll deliver this with some diligence, cause your ignorance makes us different.
Save me. I can't save myself. Save me. This is my cry for help.
How's it going, Ronnie? You all right, buddy?
Yeah.
Sorry, I hate to have to beat you like this, man.
I'm sorry.
You all right?
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Oh,
I was really hoping she was a little older
yeah.
than she was just lying to me. I wasn't gonna do anything, I swear. Although,
Well, I mean, we got a few things that we can go over here. I just wanted to kind of let you know, you're free to leave at any time if you want to, of course.
yeah,
But
I'm sorry, man.
but we do have all the messages saved.
I just been trying so hard to find love, and the way she was talking to me, I thought I was gonna wait until 18. I legit was gonna wait until she was 18 to even try to be with her. I just wanted to meet her today.
Be
I
careful.
understand that I did wrong.
Well, we're not the police.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a third-party organization. We go through and we try to teach people stuff from this. Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
With
I know I did stupid. I'm stupid.
Obviously we can kind of go through the chats here, but
Yeah.
how old did she tell you she was?
When I first talked to her, I think she said she was 15.
15. She wasn't turning 15 in June.
She was, end of the month, she was turning 15.
Yeah, so she was 14.
I think I told her that I did talk a little sexual and stuff, but
Yeah.
I told her that I wanted to wait until we did anything. And every bone in my body just wants to
Man, it is what it is.
I've just been alone since 18 years old.
I get it, man. I really do. But unfortunately, these, we kind of got into a little bit of the messages here, and you had mentioned being a corrections officer for a while.
I was for three months.
Okay.
And
What happened with that, if you don't mind me asking?
health issues. I had a stroke working there. It's very stressful there.
Was it North Point?
Yeah.
I've heard it's
And-
pretty bad there, man.
Yeah, I was in the hospital for 3 days after that. Just didn't work out for me.
I'm just going to kind of go through some of the messages. If anything doesn't sound right to you, you can correct me on it, or
I remember everything.
you did send the first message, right?
Yeah, well, when I first seen her on Facebook, I honestly didn't pay attention to the age at all.
Yeah.
I'd seen the picture and I thought she was a lot older.
I got you. Yeah, she looks a little older, but I know within the first few messages, when she told you that she was 14, she said, "Oh, you do tattoos? Will you do them to underage people?" I've always wanted a tattoo, but I'm only 14. So she tells you very early on that she was 14 years old. So, you know, is there anything? Anything specifically that attracted you to her other than
eyes?
eyes?
I instantly fell for the eyes.
Okay.
I like a girl with real pretty eyes.
Yeah.
I seen her eyes and I was like, I gotta try to add her.
I got you, buddy. We're not here to hurt you, man, at all. It's
I wish y'all would. I don't deserve to live.
Man, you can't look at it like that, buddy. We all make mistakes.
My whole thought of this was like thinking back in like 400 plus years ago. Stuff
I got
like
you.
Age wasn't a matter and all that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's 2025 now, though.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately for the ones that they like a little bit younger.
My head. I really do.
I know. We got one of the messages you sent. You said you're only 14. You said you look so much older, so you acknowledged her age there at 14.
Yeah.
And she said, I get that all the time, but I'll be 15 next month. And then you said, I shouldn't be talking to you, honestly. I'm old enough to be your dad. And you said you was 36. Are you 36? She said that her last boyfriend was 34. And then you asked, is he in jail now? Or he in jail now? And of course, she said, no, why would he be in jail? So you're acknowledging, you realize that it's illegal for...
Yeah, that's why I was really hesitant to do it.
Well, I mean, you're here. That's the specific time that we arranged, and I just want to let you know this wasn't a real girl. This is a decoy.
Yeah.
And we have people all over Kentucky right now. Okay, it's truly an epidemic. What's going on? You got into the sexual talk fairly early on.
Yeah.
With you said, I won't lie to you. I got a damn boner when I seen you, but then I found out your age. Really sucks. You said maybe if I'm still single when you hit 16, I might give you a chance. People will think it's wrong, but as long as it's legal, we will be fine.
Yeah. I think the 16th is consent age, ain't it?
In Kentucky, I believe it is. Yeah, but there's still some things that can happen there. With custodial interference,
still
and
worried about it. But
there's definitely still some things that can happen. And I see where you put, I really wish you were older. LOL, damn it. Because I want to see nudes now, damn it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to ask for them, not getting in trouble. So with that, I mean, it kind of sounds like you're trying to hint at her to send you some nudes there. Was that kind of what she was hinting at there? Or?
No, I was wanting them, but I really didn't want them at the same time.
Afraid that something would happen if she sent them,
I'm really honestly glad she never did something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as it goes on Facebook and stuff like that, I'm sure they've got stuff that flags it and probably flags the people's accounts that send it in messages as well. But talking about that, I kind of wanted to go over a little bit of something too with you. It's
I got real problems, and
I wanted to talk to you about the Telegram app.
I won't use that.
It says you're a frequent user from a phone number that you had in 2016.
I've never used it, I swear.
No?
Only thing I use is WhatsApp.
Okay.
I seriously only use WhatsApp.
I know there was multiple.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I ever use.
You on any groups in WhatsApp? Or?
So I've been talking to one girl that's been trying to trick me, trying to start a business with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's been trying to get me to freaking give her money and stuff.
Yeah.
She won't leave me alone.
How old does she say she is?
She says she owns her own business in New York.
Oh, okay. that's kind of the issue with that. You know, we've got programs that we can use, and whenever you've got a phone number, you know, it listed multiple landlines that was connected to you, and then multiple cell phones that was connected to you. There was some from, I think, I would have to go back and look, but I believe the earliest was probably 2025, something like that. And then there was a few that went back. There was one number specifically, if I'm not mistaken, it was back on 2016.
Yeah, I don't.
And it was, whenever we look into our things the way that we do, a phone number like that, if it's being used on Telegram, we can clearly see how often it's on there.
I never used Telegram, I swear.
Okay.
So I don't know
But you actually had two different numbers that was connected to Telegram.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never used it. You know what the numbers are?
I can find out as soon as we're done with the interview. Yeah. I've got all of it in my information. But
I would like to know who the heck is using my name in there, because I swear I never.
Well, it wouldn't be your name. It would be a number that was registered to you, a mobile number.
Yeah, I've never had that. I can't even remember what number that was.
Okay. Usually when
I've had one other phone before this one.
Yeah.
I think I got this in 2018.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. You've maybe, I don't really know what to tell you there, but that definitely the phone numbers that came back, it came back to you, and it came back to Telegram. And the one that I was looking at, the most recent number, it said it hadn't been used for a while, I believe. But the one from 2016, it actually stated on there that it was used frequently. And, you know, that's really all we're looking for is honesty.
I'll be truly
And
with y'all.
That's kind of a side organization of what we do with people. You know, if there's ways that we can help, because, you know,
I seriously want to.
Well, you can't talk like that, buddy. That's
I've just
a bump in the road.
Had love eyes, and
I mean, there's people that get locked up for this every day, and they're not in long. Some of them, unfortunately, should be in there a lot longer. But I mean, let's see. You and her was talking back and forth about, I believe, her sending some nudes, and you said that's up to you. It's very risky, or very, very risky. She said, okay, I won't do anything. And you said, that's perfectly fine. That was kind of early on in the conversation, but you, right after that, you sent, can I get a video of you to see if you're really you? And, you know, with that, it kind of...
Yeah, y'all really tricked me with that one.
What was your reasoning for that? Was to get her to...
I just wanted, like, proof that it's not, like, fake account. Because I've been tricked by a bunch of people before. Last year I was talking to a girl. She was of age, actually, like 46, and came to find out that she was actually a 40-year-old man trying to get money from me.
There's a lot of people do that scamming stuff, man.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's girls that are underage that get on Snapchat, Telegram.
Definitely I'm learning that today.
And they'll do the same thing. I mean, unfortunately, that is an issue too that needs addressed. But at the same time, you know, they're kids. They don't fully understand what they're doing at that point. With me, that was kind of my way of thinking of that. It was more of you trying to make sure that it wasn't the cops, or it wasn't somebody like us, or, you know, because all three of the messages here, you can tell you're worried that it's something like this. You may actually bring it up multiple times, but I see where you ask here, you said, are you comfortable with sending nude videos and pictures? That's up to you. You asked it again with that, you know, I believe this was the second time that you had asked that, but she says, I'm probably not fully nude, but in my swimsuit, I'm okay with. And you said, that should be fine. I can't get in trouble for that.
I probably still can.
And then right below that, you say, I can send you a that it. You say, we can do just one picture each, one of you, and I'll do one. That's it, no more until after you're 16. And on the very next page, it's,
Yeah.
is that you, or is that a fake? I mean, is that something you just got offline, or is it you? Or
It's a fake.
okay, none of the videos that you sent was you. Okay,
I'm not that big.
the way that it is, it's still considered
Yeah.
sending to a child. So, the very next page we get to, I say the very next page. I've got all of them in here. These are just some that I've picked out. Some of the, I guess, the worst things
Yeah.
that we definitely need to address. But you said, if I had a sexy nude, I'd do it for you, but we can't wait, but we can wait. I'm sorry. Was you trying with that? It kind of sounds like you're trying to guilt trip her into sending you something there, in a way, because it's. If I had a sexy nude, I would. You said I'd, but I would for you, but we can wait. But I know she had already mentioned not wanting to send them, and you realize that had she been a real 14-year-old girl and had she actually sent that would have been.
Yeah.
Okay. She had, I guess she was asking for the nude photos, and she wouldn't send those. She just sent a picture of her laying on the couch with her legs. And right below it, you say, you got some great legs, hon. And she said, yes, I do. You said, gonna go to hell for this, LOL. But bet that great too, LOL. And then you ask if she was a virgin. Was there any specific reason why you was asking that, or?
One of her posts talking with some guy,
Mm-hmm.
and thinking the like comments and stuff. She's someone, I don't remember exactly, but it was like talk about 40-year-old guy or something like that, 34-year-old, or 40, sure. I think it was.
I'm not sure. I'd have to go through and look. We've got volunteers that work for us all over, so
I can break it up. See real quick if you want.
If you don't care, just leave your phone down if that's okay. We just. You said, you asked again on the page before us if she was a virgin, and she said, it depends on how you define it. And you define her being a virgin is if she didn't have full penetration for longer than 5 minutes. You said that's what you consider losing virginity. She said, then in your eyes, I'm a virgin. I see where it says, my first time, this was you talking, my first time was at 17. She was 16, and I got maybe 10 full pumps in before her dad pulled in the driveway. That was 18 years ago. I haven't slept with a girl since.
That's 100%.
Okay. That's something we see pretty often with this. And again, man, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to have a conversation and try to get as much truth from you as I can so we can hopefully better protect kids in the future online.
I love kids, like not like that way. My nieces and nephews mean the world. Thinking about this, what I've done, I don't deserve to be even around them anymore.
Let's see. Is there any reasons that you can think of, maybe, that the reasons why you kind of have issues with talking to women your age, or?
They think I'm ugly.
I wouldn't say that. I mean,
no girl. I've been on dating apps for about 5 years, and not one girl's ever talked to me.
I got you, man.
Always thought it's because of my size. Just no one wants anything to do with it.
Man, I'll tell you, a lot of it is just having the self-confidence in yourself. You've got to,
I completely lost that years ago. Like my last relationship was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And she destroyed me. So we were together for about 2.5 years,
Mhm.
and she cheated on me. And then when I found out, she said she never wanted to even touch me. She never
Yeah.
barely kissed me. And
Uh,
it put me in a deep depression. And I tried
um,
and I just
you
found love.
currently seeing anybody for anything like that, or are you currently seeing anybody for those kind of thoughts or anything? Or
I did like maybe 7 years ago, and it helped a little bit, but being alone just really hurts me.
it's hard on you, man. It really is. I get it. I've seen people go through a lot of stuff with that, and I know you don't have to say where you work. I know where you work. Uh, but before that, when was the last time you had a job before that? If you don't mind me asking.
Before this was a corrections office.
Okay, so that was how long ago?
That was last November, maybe. I worked there. I think I started the end of August, ended in end of November.
Okay.
That's when I had the stroke. That I was
What was going on, if you don't mind me asking, with the prison system and stuff that caused you to? I mean, did you get attacked, or was it a?
No, to be fully honest, I have severe arthritis in my left knee. And 8 hours straight for 5 days a week, no breaks or nothing.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it much longer. And the morning I went into work, I went to clock in, and right when I reached up to clock in, my arm just went, and my heart pumping real fast, and I blacked out.
Yeah. But just know, if anything happens, I know this is kind of a stressful situation. It can be. If anything, you feel bad, anything like that, I don't care about to call you an ambulance. Anything like that,
I'm honestly glad y'all caught me.
Well, I mean,
I deserve to be talked to. Should help.
that's, had it been a 14-year-old girl, things could have been completely different tonight.
I would have accepted it.
I mean, it was.
I knew if it was real, it was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the way that the chats, we kind of, we're still pretty early on through these chats here. I've still got a lot to go over.
Yeah.
And it definitely does not seem like you was not ready to do something tonight with those messages.
I wasn't.
I mean, you all go into detail multiple
times. After a
times.
while, I really just wanted to get to meet her and get to know her.
Yeah. She said, "I love a big guy. Tiny guys are."
That is what really got me, because
Yeah.
a girl liking a big guy,
Yeah.
kind of.
I'm a bigger dude myself, man. I mean, I used to be a whole lot bigger than what I am right now, but.
I did too. I had COVID 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Had me hospitalized, tubes down my throat.
Yeah.
I was on my deathbed.
And they got a lot of people.
After I beat that, I lost about 100 pounds.
Yeah. It's hard on you, man. It really is. It was hard on me whenever, I wasn't that size. I mean, I still got up to about 305 at one point.
I was up to almost 500.
Wow. Yeah, that's up there.
A long way, down to 350.
That's good, man. Really good. And the more you lose, the better you'll feel. I mean, with your knees, with arthritis and stuff like that. I've got a cartilage disease in my knees.
The muscle behind my kneecap is completely gone.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go get screws put in, but I lost my health insurance.
There's a lot of people dealing with that right now. I know exactly what you mean about that. But you just said laugh out loud. You said, "Damn it, I have to now," laughing my ass off. And she said, "What did I do?" And you said, "All this talk got me hard." She said, "Oh, sorry."
That was literally only all just talk. I never did it. Just talk.
Well, I see where you sent. It's a 6-second video of somebody. Was that you, or was that just another?
It was all fake.
Oh, now this is kind of what. Well, there's a few things in here that really worried me, but there's a point in the messages where you ask how old her mother is, and she tells you that she's 31, and then you say maybe I should try getting with her so I can get with you, break the system. And she says, ooh.
That was good.
And you say, not actually be with her, just use her to be with you. She says, oh yeah, that could work. If you can hold a convo with her, she isn't always fully there, if you know what I mean. What did you assume she meant by that? Maybe
When like passed out, maybe
on drugs, maybe.
drugs and stuff.
Unfortunately, that's
Something that actually does happen a lot.
We see that a whole lot with the kids that end up going through things like this. They tend to be coming from a broken home, their parents on drugs.
That's kind of what I got to feel.
Foster kids, you know. And I'm not saying it's you, but there's definitely something to that, because with online predators, they seek out girls like that. Because, you know, I'm not saying that it can't happen to kids that's in a home with a mother and father and they're loved, and, you know, it is what it is. Or even a single parent household, as long as they're taking care of them and, you know, doing what they should do. It doesn't really happen as often there. It's definitely a statistic that's, you know, it's definitely a thing. Usually with the online predators, when it comes to grooming underage girls like that, they actually search out girls that have those issues because they know it'll be easier to get them to go through with stuff like that. Does that make sense? With the thing where you was talking about getting with her mother and all that to be able to get with her, what was the plan there?
Get with the mother. I was gonna plan on like getting with her mom by the time she turned 16.
Mm-hmm.
Stepdad type shit.
Okay. You ask if she has Facebook and all of that. She says that she don't have social media and stuff, but you ask how are you looking today? Pretty as always, I bet. She said, I always look good. You said, no doubt about that. Then you said, I looked it up, and if we ever do sleep together, I will do 5 to 10 years in prison. It's almost tempting. Or you spelled it tempted, but I guess, did you mean tempting?
Yeah.
Okay. So
That was.
you acknowledge there that you know it's highly illegal what you're doing. It's, you know, it's not like you don't know, you know, and obviously we'll get into a few more here, which I've already mentioned, the corrections and stuff like that. I'm sure you kind of know the laws when it regards to and
Yeah.
the age of consent. Obviously, you had done some homework there to be able to know that
That's why
once
I
she's
was around
16.
16.
You say, yeah, 16, I can have the consent of the girl to be with her and not get in trouble.
That's something I'm still a little curious, worried about, or scared about. Cause it says the consent in Kentucky is 16, but I was like, it doesn't seem right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's older. And it scared me.
Well, right below that, you say, new age laws for you. If we lived 300 plus years ago, I'd be with you already.
Back in them days, like arranged marriages.
Oh yeah. That was definitely a thing back then. I mean, and even more recently than 300 plus years ago. I mean, it's even my grandparents' age. You know, there was stuff like that happen, and it's not saying that I agree with it, but it's just kind of how it was back then. But you know, we have these laws in place to protect kids, and they're definitely needed.
I want to be 100% too. This is true. I was never gonna actually touch her until she was 16.
Okay.
I swear on that. on my mom's life.
Okay. Well, see, you see, there's a tale of two cities here. There's what you're telling me right now and what the messages say.
That was just dirty talk. But I was never really gonna do it.
You say there's still a chance I might try being with you now. Just got to figure it out. So, you had just mentioned going to jail 5 to 10 years. You realize that at that point she's still 14. You say, I've dreamt my whole life of traveling the country with a beautiful girl by my side. Having that dream come true would be the greatest day of my life.
Yeah, I've always wanted to get one of them Sprinter vans.
Yeah.
And build it out with like a bed, shower, and travel the country. I've never left Kentucky.
Yeah.
Never seen the ocean at all. I want to see it so bad.
Yeah, I've not traveled a whole lot either myself. Let's see. So I just kind of wanted to bring this up just in case you tried to say, that somebody else had your phone or whatever.
No one else had my phone. It was all me.
Okay. I was just going to go through where you had mentioned you was born in Cincinnati and they called you River Rats and, talking about you live with your grandma that has dementia and how bad is it, if you don't mind me asking?
She's constantly saying the same stuff over and over again. I've been trying to take care of her, help her get around the house.
Give me some lights.
She just lost her husband 2 years ago.
Yeah. Man, I had my grandma, she passed away from dementia, and it's a horrible disease. It really is.
I'm scared she's going to pass when I'm in the living room with her, and I don't know what I'll do.
Yeah, I had my grandpa actually. He passed away. He had a heart attack, and he was there at the house. Everybody witnessed it. I've witnessed a lot of death in my day too. It's more than my fair share, unfortunately.
I hate death. Like that's how I lost my mom. Is she passed in the hospital that I was in during COVID?
Yeah.
Tubes on my throat. My mom passed down the stairs.
She had COVID too.
Yeah.
I know another family
caused
that had
a brain tumor or brain blood clot to pop, and she went brain dead. And I couldn't even go down there to see her because I had tubes in my throat.
Yeah. Man, I hate that. I'm sorry.
It killed me for months after I got out.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bad time, man. When my grandma passed from dementia, it was during that time, and she was in a nursing home, and we couldn't even get in to see her.
Really?
It was bad.
Yeah.
That was right at the height of it, and that's
how I.
Now we kind of know.
Pretty sure that's how my knee got real worse, because the way I found out I had COVID is I fell down a flight of stairs, passed out, and thankfully my dad was there and called the ambulance and they came get me.
Had you had a vaccination?
Too scared to do it. I'm allergic to a lot of medicines.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Don't know what it'll do to me.
I know somebody else, man. It was a woman that had it done. She had the vaccinations done and had it caused her to start her menstrual cycle like in the middle of a month, and a huge knot came up on her arm. I mean, it was wild. I definitely don't trust the. I trust vaccines, but I don't know how much I trusted the COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
You see here, she says, "You seem sweet." You say, "Thank you. I try my best. I'm just a big loving teddy bear." She says, "I love teddy bears." And then you say, "I'm so about to tempt faith." I'm assuming you meant fate. And be with you, damn it. And was that a picture that you sent and took?
Yeah.
And we get into, well, it might happen because you have been so nice to me, damn it. And then you mention, she says, "Well, I think everyone deserves kindness." And you say, "Think I might be falling in love with you, damn it." And
she was treating me real nice. I never have that.
Yeah. And then you go on to say, she says, "Is that a bad thing? LOL." You say, "Not really. Love shouldn't have a number, but others will hate it." So I mean, with that, you say love shouldn't have a number. I mean, would you date a 4-year-old?
No.
Would you date a 10-year-old?
No.
So what about 14 was okay?
I was thinking when she turned 15.
Yeah.
The number I was thinking.
Yeah.
My thought is, my mom and dad,
Mhm.
they're 13 years apart. My mom's sister married my uncle, who's
Mhm.
also 16 years apart.
Yeah.
I was thinking of that, like maybe I know it was a little too much. I think 20 years or 21 years.
Mhm.
That's a little too much. But
I
I
got
thought the way she was treating me, maybe it's real.
you. Yeah. I know.
I really don't get treated by girls at all.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, man, you just kind of got to put yourself out there. It's not even as much about online as it is in person. It's once people get to know who you are and stuff like that. But
I'm honestly a really nice guy.
I can tell, man. You seem like a nice guy. You really.
This is literally the first time I ever tried to get with anyone younger than 20.
Yeah.
Literally the first time. Just where she was being nice, that pulled me in more and more.
Yeah. I get it, man. You say here, "I'm very strong too.
Yeah.
Can hold you easily in one arm." So, I mean, you're kind of acknowledging there how small she would be. So, it's kind of childlike size in a way, but
Well, even pretty good sized girls I could lift with one arm. Like, I think the most I've ever lifted with one arm is about 150.
you say she sent another picture of her with, of course, fully clothed. We don't never send any nude pictures, but
Yeah.
you say, "Love the look, very hot." And she says, "Thanks." You say, "Always. I might come see you after your birthday, LOL." And she says, "Which birthday?" You say, "One coming up. Might say and see you next month. Don't think I could wait till next year." Which, how old would she have been there?
Next year?
No, next month. You say,
15.
yeah. So, she says you're always welcome to come see her and all that, but you say, "We will definitely see how it goes. Might have to, because I can't handle it much longer." She says, "We could always meet somewhere in public if that would make you feel better," which is where we're at here. I mean, you say, "Public people might get onto us and get me in trouble." And she said, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense."
That's one of the reasons why I suggested here instead of the park.
Yeah.
More people around.
Mm. You say here, she asked, what do you like? And you say, "Something I've always wanted to do with my ex, but you might be too young for that and not ready." She asked, "What's that?" And you say, "Just know I can tie a cherry stem with my tongue. Let that sink in." Can you really do that?
Yeah. I don't know how I learned it, but I was able to do it when I was in college
Mm.
and started doing it. I was getting real good at it.
Well, man, I mean, if you could have showcased some of that off, you might have had you a few girls down the line.
I did.
Yeah.
But, my size, I think that's what pushed them all the way.
Hey, man, if Jelly Roll can get Bunny,
I'm very jealous.
that gives some chunky guys like us a little bit of a chance, But let's see. She said, "That's it. You just want to eat me?" You say, "A lot more, but very, very risky." Then you ask if she was on the pill by any chance.
Yeah.
She said, "What's a lot more?" And then she says, "Yes, I am," referring to being on the pill, birth control. And you say, "I've always wanted to get inside a girl. Ex would never let me. Very scary, especially at your age, but that's something I've always wanted to do." And she says, that's not scary, just rapid, or do you mean raw? And you said raw, never got to experience it.
That's 100% true. My ex would never touch me.
Say on this, I mean, with a body like yours, I probably won't last long, so we would have to go a couple rounds since it's been so long for me. And then directly after that, you say, first round, second round, you suck me dry. Last round, LOL. Think 3 rounds would be enough? She says, my tits are tiny, and makes a laughing face. You say, oh, they can't be that bad. She says, they're pretty tiny. And then you say, if I can hold them in my hand, they're fine. Or they fine. It says, you say, I'd like to see them, but I understand you're not comfortable with that. She says that she would rather show you in person. You say, understand, baby. Well, maybe next month we will see how it goes. You know, this is how recently are these messages? Like over the last week, correct? So again, that's acknowledging there that she's still going to be under 16 at that point when you get together to do that. And then again here, then you said, got to go handle this now. She said, oh, do you? You said, yeah, LMAO. And you're going to wait a month to see me, is what she said. And you said maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So in 2 to 3 weeks, she would have still been 14 at that point.
That's about 2 to 3 weeks was almost up, or the next month.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, either way, she would have still been under 16. Sent the video, of course, what I just showed you, another 5-second video of somebody over a vent. Was that you or no? I noticed some tattoos on the hands there with that one.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But that's probably why I'm surprised she didn't notice.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the same.
Then you say, just imagining you helped me whenever you sent that video. And she says, man, I miss out on all the fun. And then you say, maybe this weekend you can have it if you want it. And she says, do you want to? You said, you kidding, LOL, I'm risky. I'm assuming you meant risking. It's risky. But
my phone don't type too
well. I don't either. This last update is horrible. But you say, you kidding, LOL, I'm risking jail time for you. You say from the pictures that she sent, which again, we don't send any nudes or anything like that. I think it was a picture of her in a dress. Yeah. You said that from the picture that her tits didn't look that small. You say, them ain't that small. They can fit in my hand, so they're just right. Now, how about the nipples? LOL. Pepperoni nipples are small. You like pepperoni nipples? Which ones do you prefer?
Just the right size.
Just the right size.
Nipple size, maybe.
Yeah. I guess they come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, so. My ex had a nipple size.
About like this, I guess. You know, they're all different sizes and shapes. Unfortunately, we have to see way too many doing this. But you say, I mean, a titty is a titty. And you said, your is nice. I'll definitely make you. What did you plan on doing to get her to, like, what was your thought process? Was you wanting, like, where you had mentioned before?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm honestly thankful you guys are here.
Yeah, he could have been a real kid.
I really don't deserve to live.
Man, that's still We don't need to talk like that.
I don't.
There is, well, I
I
don't
should
know
let
if-
you.
man, I wouldn't do it. And obviously, if we wanted to do that, we could. I mean, I've got somebody that's my security, that one of the baddest dudes in the state, and not just with that, he's highly trained. But we're not here for that. You know, I'm here to talk to you and get a better understanding of what happened, maybe what could have happened that could have changed this, possibly. What could have maybe, is there anything that you can think of that would have maybe stopped you from pursuing once she told you she was 14?
Honestly, I really was. I was honestly about to meeting her today.
Mhm.
We were going to sit and talk, and I was honestly going to tell her that I don't think we could do this.
Yeah.
I really was, because that girl that I showed you that
Mhm.
talked to me, I've been talking to her, and I was thinking about trying to go for her more.
Mhm.
She's more my age.
Yeah, that would have probably been the smart bet. But
Yeah.
You say, I'll definitely give you the experience. You're going to beg me to stop. She says, man, I'm so excited for this weekend. And you say, let's hope nothing goes wrong. You mentioned here, baby, I'm getting a little spooked about all this. Something inside me is telling me that this is a setup to get me in trouble with the law over a minor. You know, you've said that multiple times throughout the messages.
It
something
was,
to do.
It was
And,
planted in my brain. This
but
is wrong. This is wrong.
that's kind of why I asked that last question. Is, you know, why did you still pursue that?
She had nice to me.
Yeah.
I just don't ever experience. I really don't experience it.
Yeah. And everybody deserves kindness, man.
I don't get it. I never did.
You say, God, it's killing me. LOL. I want to be with you so bad, but I don't want to end up in jail and be even longer away from you. Might sound like a pathetic lowlife, but I'm just thinking of you, baby. You say here, I'm just scared of getting you pregnant and getting caught. It says as is. I'm assuming you meant if, but is I knew for a fact that no one would ever know. I'd be all over you every chance I could, baby. She says, oh, I see. You say, I'm sorry, baby. And she says, it's okay. Then you say, God, I wish I was there. God, I wish there was a safe and secure way to be together. LOL. You're so beautiful, sweetheart. And that body of yours, laughing my ass off. Such a great body for a soon-to-be 15-year-old. So again, you acknowledge, you knew how old she was. Says, you still might hang out after your birthday coming up. I really shouldn't till you're 16, but GD it. I want you in my arms. And then you say, see how I feel after your birthday, LOL. Can always say you're 16 if someone catches us, because that's the legal age. So, there you're kind of implying for her to lie. If,
No, I know I did. I was being wrong.
And she says, I'll back off till you know what you want. And she offers to leave you alone, but you say, oh, I want you, baby. Can I get a new picture of you with that smile in the picture, pretty please?
That was good with that, because she did have a cute smile in the eyes.
Yeah. She says, yeah, I don't know. I got to think about everything. I don't want to wait over a year to be with someone. And you said it might be a couple weeks, baby. And again, at that time, she would have still been 14 in a couple weeks. Her birthday is in June, so later June. Or I think that's what she said. Even if it wasn't, she would have still been 15. But you say, I do want you, baby. I said, maybe after your birthday we can. And if we get caught, just say you're 16. And she says, oh, I thought you were just saying hang out. You said, well, yeah, hang out. Then we can move on to, or move to, I'm sorry. And you say, I kind of want to tie your arms behind your back and fuck you till you beg me to stop. And she says, I've never had that done before. And you say, it's supposed to be very pleasurable for the girl. That way, and the guy can penetrate easier by holding on. You said, hold the arms. But there again, you're acknowledging that you wanting to have before she's 16. So there is lots and lots of that in here. And then you say, I don't want to hurt you. Are you sure? Or LOL, you sure? She says, I can try. You say, not make you quit trying it. And then you send her a picture of, I guess, the position that you was wanting to try with her. It's borderline pornographic. I mean, it's not, but and you say that's the position. You say, see, we can try this position, and I can make you. Then I can, or on your ass. I think I will pay you a visit after your birthday coming up. I want to f you so bad, LOL. Pop your cherry the right way. She says, I have a bike. We have no money. Mom doesn't have a car. She rides with a friend. And she said, I'm allergic to cherries. And you said, LOL, not that kind of cherry. Popping your cherry where I full penetrate your multiple times, fully opening your for my to fit right in, to fit right. She says, oh. And you say, now once I do, I'm not done. We're going round 2. LOL. Can you handle multiple rounds?
Honestly, I don't think I can. I was just being dirty talk.
You say, we will see. If I have to, I'll force it on you. LOL. Make you beg me to stop. And she says, but I say stop, you will stop, right? You say, if you truly want me to, I will. We will have a safe word. And if you don't say the safe word, I'll keep going. So is that like some 50 Shades of Grey stuff, or you kind of into that stuff, or
Just
no
remember
judgments,
watching the
no
movie.
judgments at all.
I just remember seeing the movie.
You say next month after your birthday, baby, I promise will be yours. I'll let you do whatever you want to it the first time. And she asked what the point of waiting until her birthday was, if it's technically the same thing, that she's still under 16 regardless. That's the gist of what she said. But and you said it would make you feel better. You say, guy at the garage said my car should be done now, no later than the 3rd of next month. So whatever weekend is that week, I'll come to you, okay, baby? You're going to beg me every weekend. I just know it. And then you say, it says I'm assuming you meant if, but it says it makes you uncomfortable, but can I pretty please get a nude picture of you, baby? I want to see my girl's amazing figure just once. So that's, another case of you asking for her to send a nude photo knowing that she's 14. Are you sure there's nothing else that you want to talk about, man, with like Telegram or Snapchat or anything like that? Because I kind of sense it, and it's right now is the time to get it out in the open. It truly is.
I've just been trying to talk to girls.
Okay. You've not, I mean, obviously the cell phone, it did go back to you, and it's, again,
I swear I never, ever opened a Telegram thing.
Okay. With the
I've
WhatsApp.
had girls ask me to do it, and I just said,
Yeah.
I don't use that.
You've never tried to join no groups on Facebook through that, or
Nope.
try to join any Telegram groups or WhatsApp groups that has in them or nothing like
I
that?
swear.
Okay. She says, I've had guys ask for one. He's talking about nude pictures. And then ghost me. How about I agree you can take as many as you want when you see me in person? You say, baby, I promise I will never ghost you. I want to not run. And she said, that's what they all say. And then you say, if I ghost you, baby, you have my permission to call police and tell on me. I just want to see what I'll be getting next month. You say, look forward to you telling on me, baby, with a question mark. And she says, no, laughing faces. I'm tell you, you have to wait to see me naked in person. And then you say, oh, come on, baby, LOL. Make me even more excited for it. And then you said, I'm okay, fine, I'll wait. And then right after that, you say, just know I get a hold of you. I'm tearing, baby. And then she asked, what's your safe word? And then you said that you would make up a safe word. You had sent her another picture. It's not pornographic, but it's showing the position that you was talking about that you wanted to try with her.
Was just did y'all watch that little video?
I'm not sure if they did or not. Just kind of.
That wasn't nothing sexual. It was just like,
Okay,
well,
I got you. That's what made me believe that, I guess, is right below that is she says, I'm very flexible, LOL. I can put both legs behind my head. And then you say, oh boy, have to try this position. So I guess maybe y'all was talking about that. And then.
Yeah, that's another position I wanted to try with my ex before.
And then you send her this one, which is a pornographic image. It shows.
That's the position I was wanting to try with my ex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, it wasn't. It's adult pornography, but she said, "Oh my," and then you say, "Either we will be together forever, baby, or I'm going to teach you so many new tricks." LOL. Hopefully, you're my girl for a while. And then you say, "Then once you hit 18 and graduate high school, I'll marry you." I've actually tried. Excuse me. Something there about your ex-girlfriend 18 years ago, but here it is. I've actually tried that one time with my second girlfriend 18 years ago.
That's when I lost my actual virginity.
You say, she asked, do you normally like younger girls? And you say, no, I've been trying to find a girl between like 25 and 35, but they all ignore me. You actually started talking to me and made my life much better. Didn't notice you were so young at first, though. Just thought you were very, very pretty, and I had to try my shot. Now, honestly, I don't give a fuck about age. True love doesn't have a number. And the fact that you're still talking to me makes me madly in love with you. And I hope we will be close for as long as possible to the day you turn 18 and I can marry you. If we last that long, would you marry a guy like me, baby? And she says, absolutely. You say 38-year-old with an 18-year-old, people will hate on me, but I don't give a fuck. As long as I have it love, that's all that matters.
Just something I always want to experience.
Yeah. Then you say, till then, we can fuck as much as we can, and once I marry you, all bets are off. We're making babies. She said, I don't know about that. You say, okay, we can wait a little longer, LOL, but I'm going to marry you on your 18th birthday if we're still together.
I said that because I for sure thought she'd not want anything to do with me after she seen me in person.
Mm-hmm. I see where you're talking about the Sprinter vans and stuff. You say, I think I already have a plan in my head, LOL. Once I marry you, I'll buy an RV/van life, and we will leave everyone behind and travel the country together. Just you and me on the road for as long as we can. And then,
Is there put this on?
yeah,
My
babe,
blood pressure's getting low.
you're good. Whatever you need to do, man. You're, like I said, you're free to leave at any time. And,
Now
you know,
you're helping me, so
obviously we're recording this conversation. It's,
I could really use the help. So
we record it for our safety and for yours. That way, obviously, somebody can't say that we tried to blackmail you, or I came up here and was trying to get money from you, or something stupid like that. That's not what we're doing at all. Or potentially assault you. That's at least that's on video. So,
would.
You say, I hope I don't disappoint you, baby girl. She says, you won't. You say, God, I love you. You're basically 15, but more mature, and I dare say more sexy than most 20-plus-year-old girls.
She seemed like she was way more mature than her age.
Yeah. And then she says, hey, guess what? It was later in the day. I think you took a nap or something after that.
Probably right when I got off work.
Yeah, you said, I'm going to take a power nap, baby. Had to unload a whole truck today at work.
Yeah.
Really tired.
Yeah.
And she says, one of my best friends asked me to go with her to Stanford on Friday night and hang out with everyone at O'Reilly's. You said, oh really?
Really felt true, because all these kids and young adults always driving trucks around and stuff in the parking lots.
Yeah.
I used to do when I was a teenager.
You got any back problems?
Lower back.
Man, I've got them all up and down my daggone neck. I've got two in my neck. I've got two in my mid back and two in my low back. So it's and bone spurs on top of it.
I just got the lower back and my knees a little bad.
Yeah, I've got the knee problems too, buddy. I think a lot of it has to do with the weight. It really does. I played football too, and I was a firefighter, and I was not easy on my body whatsoever. So
yeah,
I'm kind of paying for it now. But
being tall and big is really hard on my knees.
You ask. She says, "Oh, really?" And she says, "Yes." You say, "Wouldn't your friends disapprove of a 36-year-old seeing a 15-year-old?" She says, "I could maybe get away, but my friends don't give a shit." And then you say, I'm going to have to find a car this Friday. Now, damn it. Might try that standing position behind O'Reilly's so no one knows we're. LOL, it's nice and dark back there, which we're talking about back behind the plaza, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That
was all 100% just talk. I wasn't even going to do that because I'm too shy. I was honestly just going to meet her and talk. Get to know her more.
I don't know what she was apologizing. Let's see. You say, looking forward to it, baby. You got me excited now. And she says, LOL, sorry. And you say, don't be. Gonna be great. And after we can sit in the car and truck for as long as you can, baby, unless you beg me for round 2. She said, that sounds perfect. And then you say, body like yours, I might need a second round. You say, I'll try to last as long as I can, LOL. Hopefully at least 20 to 30 minutes, maybe more. But where I ain't had pussy in years, I might last only 10 to 15 minutes. While we might need 2 rounds. And you say, you're going to go back to your friends all sweaty and tired when I get done with you. We're, again, in this conversation currently, we're talking about tonight, so that's kind of, again, that kind of worries us. But then you say, did I ever tell you I used to be a cop for like 2 years? You say, why I know so much about the laws and why I could be in big trouble getting caught with you. She says, wait, what?
I meant to put 2 months.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be months. I didn't even notice I put years.
She said, wait, what? Why aren't you a cop anymore? You say, I was working the prison, and that place is very, very stressful. Prisoners are annoying. And one day I had a minor stroke from stress and got sent to the hospital. So it's basically what you was telling me. And of course, you sent a picture of you in your guard outfit.
Yeah.
Or guard uniform. That was not an outfit.
I honestly thought that correctional officers were considered police.
Do what?
Oh, I honestly thought correctional officers were considered cops.
I believe some cases they are. Maybe
Probably
like
the ones that
jails
travel
and
out.
stuff like that. I believe they're deputized through the sheriff's department, some counties. But I'm not really sure as far as like the prison system goes, like North Point and places like that. I'd have to look into that. But,
I always thought they were.
You say, was in the hospital for a few days, and then I went back into work, and they told me I need to work on my health a little and get my stress levels down.
Well, they did.
And she said, so you were a corrections officer and not a cop? And you say, yeah, I guess it's not really considered a cop. They all think of themselves as cops, LOL.
Well, they're cops.
Yeah. You asked her how she knew what a corrections officer was, and she said that her mom had been with one before. You asked if she might know his name by any chance because your best friend still works over there. You still got a friend that works at North Point? You still got a friend that works at North Point?
Yeah.
I'm not
At least I think he
gonna.
does.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask his name or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's none of my business there.
For sure he does.
Let's see. What was the craziest story you got at the prison, man?
Honestly,
Was you there when the riots went out?
no.
No.
The craziest thing that happened to me was I feel like the prisoners were scared of me. Because walking down the cells, check like counting and stuff.
Yeah.
I could hear them in the back. Like I could really hear pretty good at this ear right now. Because I had half this ear is metal.
Oh, really? What'd you do?
My eardrum blew, and I couldn't hear anything in this ear for years. It was about maybe 2 years ago. I finally had surgery, and they replaced everything with metal. And
What happened to cause it? Do you know?
Not taking care of my ears. It like pushes stuff like toothpicks in there, scratching them and stuff. Ruined it.
Yeah, that's definitely not good for your eardrums.
No, but walking down the cells, I could hear them whisper it. And I just hear them almost every one of them say, "That motherfucker's huge."
How tall are you? You 6'4"?
6'4",
6'4".
6'3", 6'4", something like that.
Yeah, I'm not up that big, but
Probably the biggest thing that happened is when I first started.
Yeah,
I was under the supervision of a higher ranked officer. He was showing me the ropes.
Yeah,
and a fight broke out.
Oh wow!
And he was alone and needed my help. And I'm just sitting there holding this prisoner up against the wall like this, just watching. And I just. And
we're good.
And I probably thought I was trying to swing at you.
Yeah. No, he's fine, man. He's just looking out for me.
Yeah,
he's a good dude, man. He really is.
But I just hold that guy up against the wall, and he was trying his hardest to get off me. And while my supervisor was down there trying to handcuff this guy, he got him handcuffed, and then I just gave him this other guy.
Wow.
He handcuffed him.
Yeah,
I got the strength to handle them.
Yeah.
My fat ass just can't do the walking and stuff long.
Good boy.
Oh, cold.
Somebody called on this. We'll be all right.
I see out here that y'all can get help, get programs to help.
Yeah, I mean,
I really want to do it.
There's definitely programs. You know, it's kind of a live-in situation with people with stuff like this, obviously, because of the safety risks involved and stuff.
Yeah, this The video call thing sounds perfect
Hmm.
because where I had to take care of my grandma.
Yeah, yeah, that would probably help with your. You could probably with the depression and stuff like that as well. You know, with the online or over the phone. You know, Skype, whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's probably better in person, I guess. But with technology the way that it is now, man, I mean, as long as you can open up to your counselor and actually go in depth to what's really bothering you and stuff like that, a lot of these counselors nowadays are really, really good.
Yeah.
Are there any questions you got about any of the other stuff on it?
On here,
Mhm.
let me read over again because my memory's not the best.
That's our main priority, man, is just protecting kids in the future. And,
Gotcha.
you know, it's
I understand.
a huge epidemic right now with, I mean, I'm sure you could go to any high school and girls between the age of 13 to 17, I would venture to say that about 90% of them has received messages from older men on their social media. If it's not set up to where nobody can message them, you know, that's definitely something that's a parent's job there.
Yeah.
To make sure that their social media is set up and all of that. That way nobody can actually send them messages. Like, you know, say she had been a real girl, this decoy, had the social media been set up to where nobody could message her that way, no friend, you know, somebody that's not a friend, that's a potential for that to not even happen there. So that's, you know, that's one of the things that we kind of work towards. We would like to.
Definitely, I definitely want the help. I'm 100% truthful. This is the first time under 20 I've actually tried anything. I'm glad y'all caught me because I could use the help. How do I get a hold of it?
With this stuff, man, it's basically just once we get, you know, we get done with the interview and stuff, I can contact the people that I work for, and we find out where they would kind of
I have a
put you in
computer at
this.
home. That would be perfect for with Skype and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That way, I'm at home with my grandma to help take care of her.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that this stuff it helps with. Obviously, with counseling and all of that, but it also can help with jobs. I mean, help with vocational trades. If you don't have your GED or your high school diploma, there's things that you can do through through the program to be able to earn it while you're there.
Diploma. 2 years of college. I wish I stayed in college. But yeah. Never did. My dumbass dropped out.
Yeah.
Computer tech.
And you're sure there's nothing you want to tell me about Telegram or
I swear,
WhatsApp? Or
100% swear I've never used it.
There's nothing that's happened between you and any of your nieces or
no.
Nothing like that?
I love them by the bottom of my heart. I would never talk shit like that to them.
Now, if we go and say we talk to some people, that we're not going to hear a different story, are we?
Like my nieces and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
No, I swear I don't talk like that to them.
Because that's obviously, you know, that's the reason that we worry about stuff like that. But what other types of social media have you been on? Like, is there anything else that you use for like dating apps or anything like that?
Dating at Snapchat, I tried to give a girl. They always ignore me. Facebook dating.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of random girls on Facebook would send me messages and tell me to get them on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And every time I talk to them, they end up asking me to buy them Visa cards.
None of those is claimed to be underage.
No.
That's a big scam that goes on those sites. From what we've heard, you know, sometimes it's not underage girls, sometimes it is underage girls, but you know, that's definitely something that's an issue with those apps. And it's unfortunately, you know, people like our organization are really, we're trying to bring a light to it because of how big of a problem it really is. And um, it's just a really big issue.
Yeah, I understand.
Um, you're saying, you know, it's about a 10-minute drive from where you are, which, again, we do our homework. I know exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we do our homework. You know, we don't just come into this unprepared. Um, say it's about a 10-minute drive where I am to O'Reilly's by car, but definitely might have to walk. And definitely might have to walk. Can't miss this chance to be with a real woman, even if she only about to be 15. And
that was just another. She's being nice to me.
you say that
Experience.
if my buddy drops out on me letting me use his car Friday, we will do that. Meet halfway here. And I guess tonight you had somebody drop you off.
Yeah, my cousin.
Yeah. Did he know anything about the age of the girl or anything?
No, I told him I was going to meet a girl that was being nice to me.
Yeah. And you mentioned the Veterans Park down here, I guess. Started to talk about meeting there, and then back behind O'Reilly's, and then it eventually got to here.
Yeah, I felt this was more public.
Yeah.
Make her feel more comfortable. Honestly, I did just want to talk.
Man, I tell you, going over these messages, it really does not seem that way. I mean, you go in depth of the type of sexual things and positions that you're wanting to do with her, and you go into saying, you know,
That's just
knowing that she's underage,
yeah,
and that you're still okay with that point.
yeah. Very wrong of me, I know.
Uh,
I'm just so glad y'all caught me. Give me the help I need.
that's what we're here for, man.
I really thank you guys.
You say, no, I was being funny. You said, didn't judge you for being quiet at first. So I said, don't dodge me for being quiet either. I guess you meant judge, or it auto-corrected. Cut off, LOL, it's like cut off for being quiet. You say, there's a deep, deep feeling inside me that this feels like the show How to Catch a Predator. But I have so much faith and trust in you, baby. Please don't hurt me. She said, I've never heard of that show, but I love true crime. Is it like that? I'd never hurt you. I'd never want you to get in trouble. But if you want to cancel, I won't blame you either.
I was actually very tempted to.
And you said, I made you a promise, baby. We will meet. Very high chance I'll have a truck to drive. And yes, it's kind of like a true crime show. Young girls talk to older guys and schedule to meet them. And once the guy shows up, a detective is there waiting for them to confront him for seeing a young girl, which I'm not a detective. I'm not a cop.
About to fall off.
I'm not a detective and I'm not a cop. You know, we're a private organization. We just try to do what we can to help. We leave that to the law enforcement. But you said, I made you a promise, baby. We will meet. Very high chance I'll have a truck to drive. And yes, it's kind of like a true crime show. I'm sorry, I've already read that. God, there's like a 50-50 chance you tomorrow. LOL, if you let me. I feel like you see me, you won't let me. And then you sent a picture of yourself, which was just a regular picture of you when you was 16, I guess.
That's what I look like, 16.
And she said, I'm getting nervous and excited. You said, me too, baby. And then you said, I'm working on getting me a Sprinter van to live in and travel. And it's almost tempting to run away with you forever. You know, I'm going to kind of end the messages with that one, because that was the way that sounded. It sounded like you was gonna take off with her underage.
I was actually gonna wait till 16 to
Okay.
take off with her. I was. I swear.
Is there anything you can think of? Like I said, I know we've kind of already talked about it, but is there anything that you can think of that, again, maybe parents could do that would possibly keep something like this from happening with their own child?
Get kids off of social media.
Yeah, completely.
Yep, completely. I get on my sisters and brothers without their kids off of social media. I'm like, you need to get them off that shit. This is one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
It's definitely taught me something.
Well, buddy, I guess we got some people over here wanting to talk to you, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Hope they don't take me because I need to take care of my grandma.
Well, that's not up to me. That's up to them. I mean, it's like I said, that's
You said
the
you
main
give
thing.
me the number for that help.
Yeah. Once we're gonna have to talk to them first, I'm sure. But trying to not show all your pictures here. Trying to keep everything turned this direction for you. That's not my goal. Is to.
Thank you for catching me. Honestly,
Well, man,
I'm trying to help them.
we had two in Lancaster a couple weeks ago, and we're kind of a new organization. We're not really that heard of yet, but we're trying to do our part, and that's the main priority with it, is just making sure that we protect the kids. And
I'm glad y'all are.
And if you're willing to help with that, I'm sure there's things that you can talk to them about that would. I'm sure there's things you could do to help.
I'll gladly help. So I really don't deserve to live, and y'all made a big perspective of what I need to fix.
Well, y'all, let's head over here and talk to them, I guess. Or I guess they're coming over here, so. How's it going, fellas?
Hello, sir. Stand up for me, please. What's your name? Do you have any identification on you? Do you have any identification on you anywhere at all? Don't reach your pockets.
No, I don't think I got
Go
my
ahead,
wallet.
Go ahead and cuff him up front, please. Any weapons or anything on your person I need to be aware of?
All right. I'll read your interrupt, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney before making any statement and may have your attorney with you during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney and desire one, the court will appoint one for you. You may stop the questioning at any time by refusing to answer further or by requesting to consult with your attorney. Do you understand each of these rights I have claimed to? We voluntarily waive your rights to talk just now.
Going out on what was it? The last part?
I say we voluntarily waive your rights to talk just now.
Let's go on back to the car first. Kevin, you escort him over to the
Yeah.
real quick? Absolutely. That's your phone there. Hang on to that.
Yes, sir.
Jay Eldridge, how are you?
How's it going, buddy?
So, as I was speaking to your employees and stuff there, do y'all have digital evidence you can turn over to me
Yes,
this
sir.
evening?
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to need that for the case, obviously.
And I've got everything, all the printouts here too, if you want to take them too. But
Y'all know where the police department is?
I have not been. I've been by the sheriff's office. I don't think I've been by the Stanford PD. Though.
So if you want to, because obviously we'll take him to an interview room as soon as we get down to the station, and we won't ask him no questions or anything until we get him down there. You know where the sheriff's office is up on the hill? Okay.
Mhm.
There's a gas station in Valero directly in front of it.
Yep.
Directly across from its police department.
Okay.
So if you guys want to, if you don't care, you can just pull up out front in the police department. It's easy. Huge sign says Stanford Police Department on it. You can pull up out there, and what we'll do is we'll make copies of the stuff that you have so you can keep that for your records.
All right. That sounds like a plan, buddy.
Good deal. Folks, I will see y'all down there shortly.
All right. Don't forget to tell them your safe word, Ronnie.
This is my cry for help.
I hear you loud and clear. Keep the blindfold off of these blurry eyes. Gonna be a horror story with a scary dies. Angels fly with their guns out, causing hell of fire when Mother Mary cries. I heard the lies, but I seen the truth. They gonna silence you if you bring the proof. They gon' call you crazy when you call them out. They try to box us in, but we can box them out. Don't dare ask me what I'm talking about. If you ain't listened yet, then you'll never hear it. We gon' pray to God and we gon' stand up. Got an army here, I know the devil fear. Yeah, the future's clear when you know the past. And that train is coming and it's rolling fast. Gotta fix the path that's on a broken track. There's no time for us to be holding back. Now we need some leaders to wake up the sleepers. Make believers out of non-believers. Let freedom of speech ring through the speakers. Take the filthy rich to the cleaners. Shine our light, baby, high beamers. Don't let sex crimes be a misdemeanor. Protect these babies from these sickening creatures. I refuse to sit and watch from the bleachers.
Save me. I can't say